We're coming to you live from Los Angeles, and the show floor is officially open, and right now, Dan Cooper and I have the game everyone wants to play. It's Super Mario Odyssey. I don't even know what else to say. Daniel, thank you so much for coming by. I'm excited, I'm screaming, I'm yelling, I'm happy. You can throw a hat at things. Let's calm down, let's talk about this game.
Okay.
Super Mario Odyssey.
Yes.
So yeah, no, it was finally a great chance to reveal the trailer to everybody today. They're in this digital spotlight. I know the T-Rex kicked it off, all those cool mechanics and seeing the different capture abilities, using the Cappy for the first time. Get a chance to play that as well.
Oh,
so yeah.
I think we have a slight hitch here.
No, we'll get that fixed. So yeah, no, we got a chance to see all that, and now we're getting a chance to show off some of the game. This is actually in the Sand Kingdom. We're getting a chance to show off in the Tustarena town, really themed around Mexico, which actually one of the developers actually got a chance to go
on vacation.
He went on vacation there. Yeah, he got a chance that Mr. Motokura got to go there, and he loved it so much that he's like, I want this in the game. So hence this became the wonderful theme that you get to see here around Tustarena town. So yeah, Mario gets a chance to basically explore. A lot of times, a little different than Legend of Zelda a lot, is that it's much more of a sandbox. I know you, Dan, you asked me about that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, so like we use the word sandbox when we were talking like, oh, this one's a bit return to that, like we see in 64 and Sunshine. But in the presentation I saw, they said it was a bit more like in Japan, they're using a different word. And it's more like the philosophy behind making a miniature garden.
Yes, I think the term, if I get the Japanese right, is hokoniwa. Yes, it's a really popular thing in Japan to build these like really intricate miniature gardens. Americans like it too, but much more smaller crew behind that. And that's the idea, that everything's really condensed. It's really dense on all the different things you have the opportunity to do. And everything's like right in front of you, like to interact with. A little bit different from Zelda, which is more about that distance.
Like I definitely got that impression. Like I played New Donk City for 10 minutes. And like, you know, it's not huge. You can like triple jump your way across it in a few minutes, but it feels massive because it's so intricately packed with stuff.
So here we're seeing the store interface for the first time. Mario can actually spend his coins on something. In the past, he would get 100 and it would just reset, which is a terrible way to save money. So now you can actually go buy clothes. What are the opportunities of sort of like amiibos being involved in this in some way down the line to bring in new costumes and stuff?
Well, they're hoping for that. I mean, that's something they're still that's not all revealed yet. That'll be coming soon, obviously. But there will be new costumes. Even in the trailer, they did show a few different costumes as well. But what's cool about the costumes here, some of those little purple coins you see in the ice and that Mario was gathering earlier are called regional coins. And those are actually available to buy outfits for that region. Hence the sombrero and the poncho was much more regional.
Are they like purely cosmetic changes, or do they actually like have abilities associated with them?
For the most part, it's mainly cosmetic, but it does have Cappy going involved with it, and we'll hopefully get more information about that in the future as well. So we'll see where that goes.
The entire IGN War Room was just delighted with this demo today. I think people will be when they play it on the show floor too. A lot of real, like, specific questions here, though.
Sure.
There's no more shines. Now we've got moons. Are the stars gone?
Yes, it's moons. The moons are used to power the Odyssey, the ship that Mario is using to fly around as he tries to go save Princess Peach.
Interesting.
From the wedding that is happening with Bowser.
So him and Olimar both have problems with powering ships, basically. That's good to know.
Mario's at least landing.
Yes. Mario does land, doesn't crash, so it's a lot.
And there were a lot more moons than there were shines or stars in previous games.
Yes, I mean, so far you've seen. I know you had a chance to play a little bit, Daniel. There's a lot of moons just in this one area alone, and that's a lot of what they want. The devs really want people to explore and discover all these different ways. And a little bit different from Super Mario 64 is that when you got a star, it would kick you out of the level. This time it's more about when you get a moon, you get to continue in the level.
And I noticed that when you get one, it's like a description of what it is, but also like a date stamp. So it's almost like a log of your journey, which I really like.
And then here right now we're using Cappy to go into the binoculars, and you have a chance to really see where could you go, where do you want to explore.
And the binoculars we saw in 3D World, right?
There was something like that. Yeah, there's something to walk up to in 3D World.
It's really cool because you're seeing a lot of elements from older Mario games, but there's so much just incredibly new stuff here. One of the things I'm really impressed with so far is just the breadth and the scope in the variety of levels we've seen. And I think my big question is sort of, how will they all connect? We know we have the Odyssey that lets you travel from place to place. Is there a sort of like hub world, like kind of like Peach's Castle in Mario 64?
Well, we really it's essentially you're going to be exploring all these different kingdoms. We really haven't explained how those are all going to connect yet. So far, the two kingdoms that we're showing off at E3 that people can play is one, this is the Sand Kingdom. The other is Metro Kingdom, where you get to go to New Donk City specifically and get to explore that area.
The possession mechanism here that we're seeing with these hats, it doesn't work on everything, right?
No.
So it basically works. You have to be an enemy with a hat already.
Well, not always with a hat. You have to kind of explore and to see, because if you notice, the bullet bills don't all have hats on them already.
Right.
Oh, and you got a moon. So yeah, it depends. So you kind of have to explore and experiment and see what works and what doesn't.
When I was playing, I definitely felt I was being rewarded for just trying things out. And sometimes the reward was, hey, that was fun. But sometimes a moon just appeared.
Yes.
Which was
that was really cool about that too. And what's awesome about it too, since as you were describing that sandbox mentality as well, is that there isn't one set path to do anything. Yeah. You could simply try to experiment different ways. Like right there was, that's a dangerous area to go down that way. So we're just kind of looking at all different possibilities, and you can always backtrack to certain ways. You might find another secret you might have missed, like another moon. So you never know. You can always keep going back and forth when you're playing through this.
We're also like, if you look at the past Mario games, you would get a shine or you'd get a star, and many times it would end the level.
Yeah.
But here, it seems like you're grabbing these moons and you keep going.
You keep going. So, because if you even have a chance, when Sarah's actually the person playing for us, which is awesome, when she gets out of this 2D area, which is pretty cool, where you even see Mario even keeps his Explorer outfit on when he goes into 2D. So we can bring up the map for a second. She's still capturing things.
Oh,
so,
cool.
So there is a map you'll be able to look at to see what's going on in the game, to figure out where you've gone to, what's still available, and that'll help keep you going.
It kind of reminds me, it looks like a scan from Nintendo Power. It's like an old video game magazine scan. Now, the 2D stuff specifically that we just saw, it's a little evocative of, say, Link Between Worlds, Super Paper Mario. Obviously, Mario's got its roots in a lot of the games. The 2D stuff, how much of that can we expect to see in the game? Because it seems like it's sort of hidden in little corners.
It is hidden in little corners, and that's the thing that it really harkens back to that old 8-bit era, and I'm looking forward to finding more of those myself, so we'll have to wait and see, and what other elements are really brought to life in that 2D method.
I do love that Mario can bring his costumes in, and you'll see them in 2D, which also reminds me of, say, something like Mario Maker, which had 100 different sprites you could choose from.
The different suits you could try, yeah. So we're here just using Mario, just going back. We're going to go back into the 2D world again, so real quickly.
Yep. And that ledge grab seemed like a move that's been sort of evolved over the years. He can kind of just grab it, flip up. It seems like it's going to lead to a lot of quicker, faster-paced platforming stuff.
Definitely, for sure. And on top of that, too, there's even the elements of being able to even throw the hat and then jump off your hat as well. You can actually basically kind of hat stall.
There's because also when it was presented, the recommended control scheme is actually motion control.
It is
separated
motion.
Joy-Cons as well, because you can throw Cappy with a flick of the wrist.
Throw Cappy with a flick of the wrist. You can even move both your wrists into a single direction, and the hat will actually rotate around you. When you're in the air, you can throw down, and the hat kind of throws down and rolls along the ground.
But everything you can do using the Joy-Cons, you can replicate on the Pro Controller.
Yes, you should be able to do all of that as well.
I'm going to knock over a lot of drinks when I play this game, and I've never played. Yeah, all this stuff is really cool here. It's also completely surreal because you've got these sort of realistic graphics. You've got the 2D Mario running up the side. Is there like an additional way? Could you just fly up this building or climb up a different way? Or?
That's what they've really talked about, is that even though there's multiple solutions to everything, they're really curious to see what people will actually do and find instead that they haven't even thought of. Which has been really interesting, like just even how Zelda has done that. This game is also doing
that's what it reminded me of, like
mechanic.
How people have tackled shrines in really elaborate ways. Because there's so many different mechanics in this game. There's so many ways you can transform.
Yes.
Yeah. You can get to top of these buildings in New Donk City in innumerable ways.
Yes.
Like if you look at the way the speedrunning community has taken on classic games like Mario 64, I feel like people are going to be finding shortcuts and tricks in this game for decades.
Oh, of course, yeah, no, and that's the best part of this whole thing, is that it keeps going on and on. How are you going to discover all those different moons? How are you going to find them, especially for the completionists, finding every single one. And what's helpful too, when you look at the map, there is a list that helps you break down a little bit of what's happening in that area as well. So it's not just find them all on your own. There's a little bit of help to get you through all
right,
of that.
And it feels like the kind of thing where you jump into a level, you're gonna be searching for stuff for a very long time.
Yes.
There's lots of stuff to find here,
which is great. So because there's always, you brought up the speedrunners who will get the bare minimum to keep advancing, but there's still a lot of content for them. But then I prefer trying to find everything, like I did when I played Super Mario 64.
Right.
So I'm really excited for that.
This
as
is
well.
a much more like demanding platforming section.
Yes. Yes. So
I failed on this.
You failed. Yes, that's right. You start using use Cappy for this a little bit differently and trying to explore to the next area. and trying to dodge all the explosions that are going on in here. A little bit different than what we showed already. So yeah, no, I'm glad you got to play it too. Like, what was the biggest surprise for you, Daniel, when you were playing through this?
I love how like brilliantly weird it is. Like, it's surreal. Like, you know, all those transformations just make me really happy, because for me, like, a Mario game is a game that's like bursting with ideas. You know, some developers would take one of these mechanics and make a whole game around it. Right. Mario has this mechanic, it's there for a level, and then it's discarded because there's another one around the corner. And I love that in the trailer. Look this.
Like this guy
I love
right
weird
here.
stuff like
the
this.
Moai. The Moai are these another character you can capture. If you notice, when the sunglasses are up, you can't see everything. When the sunglasses pop down, you can see a platform appears.
Oh.
Yeah. See, like another game would build an entire game around that.
So
yeah, that's incredibly cool.
So they have the Moai, so you're kind of running around this way.
And I feel like between the experimentation of finding what you can throw your hat at and designing your character itself by trying on different outfits and stuff like that, there's a lot more customization than we've seen in almost definitely any 3D Mario game before.
Yes. Okay,
yes.
When you have the glasses down, the Moai walks slower. But when it's up, you run faster, but you take the chance of good luck.
And you don't look as cool.
You don't look as
everyone
cool,
knows sunglasses make you look cool.
Don't look nearly as cool.
Now we've got the Mario hat now has eyes. Is there a sort of narrative behind that? Is it a living thing? Can it
his name is Cappy.
Okay.
It's a little bit different behind it. Essentially, they wanted to give Mario someone to go on his adventure with, so he's not just on his own, hence Cappy. But we don't know the whole story behind who is Cappy, what is Cappy, and how it all ties into the main story.
Does Cappy speak?
Nothing to say at this time. Not yet.
We'll see, because I don't see a mouth, I see eyes. Super Mario Odyssey is by far my most anticipated Switch game, I think. Many people. What sort of secrets can people look forward to finding on the show floor?
Oh, geez.
Without spoiling too much.
Without spoiling anything. I mean, Daniel played it a bit too, but it's a demo you get to play, and we already had people who've been trying to play through the demo, and they played through like 20, 30 times, and they haven't found everything.
I can nowhere close to any of this stuff.
It helps a little bit. I think that we have a little bit, the timer's not fully running, so there's a little bit of a difference there.
Seeing this is just surreal. There are moments where you're like, I don't even know if this is a Mario game or not. There's just so much insane things happening.
I think the T-Rex does that, because it's like a realistic T-Rex. It's not in the Mario art style, and I like that idea that he's traveling so far from his like comfort zone, his home world.
Yes.
And I think that's
and it was
really
weird, because when you see the intro to that trailer, at first you're like, why is there a T-Rex? And then all of a sudden it turns around and has a little mustache, and Cappy's on top at the same time. So it's really interesting to see all the different characters will have the opportunity to take over and capture, like the Goombas, the Koopas, all those, the Bills, and see how that all breaks down.
All right. Well, Super Mario Odyssey is out this fall?
Yes.
Yep. October?
Yes.
Yes. Do we have a day in October?
I think, it is this fall. It is this fall. I don't
this
have
fall.
the exact
We'll
date.
figure it out.
I'll give you the exact
It's also on the show floor right now, so if you're here, you can play it.